There was a hunter in the woods who, after a long day hunting, was in the middle of an immense forest. It was getting dark, and having lost his bearings, he decided to head in one direction until he was clear of the increasingly oppressive foliage. After what seemed like hours, he came across a cabin in a small clearing. Realizing how dark it had grown, he decided to see if he could stay there for the night. He approached and found the door ajar. Nobody was inside. The hunter flopped down to the single bed, deciding to explain himself to the owner in the morning. As he looked around, he was surprised to see the walls adorned by many portraits, all painted in incredible detail. Without exception, they appeared to be staring down at him, their features twisted into looks of hatred. Staring back, he grew increasingly uncomfortable. Making a concerted effort to ignore the many hateful faces, he turned to face the wall, and exhausted, he fell into a restless sleep. Face down in an unfamiliar bed, he turned blinking in unexpected sunlight. Looking up, he discovered that the cabin had no portraits, only windows. She was holding his hand tightly when he heard a noise come from off in the shadows. Beyond the ring cast from the solitary light above, he could see only darkness. She must have sensed his sudden distress as she placed her hand against his chest. Again a noise. It sounded closer this time. They weren't alone in this park. Her heart was racing now to match his. He didn't speak as to hear better and gave her a look. Her eyes were wide open now. She must have heard it too. The noise came again. Something was moving in the bushes. The glint of eyes caught the light for just a second. He turned to meet her stare. She must have seen it too. The doom came over her in a wave. She tried to break away, to run, but he held her close. The noise of rustling leaves and movement came again as it came into the light. The cat stopped and studied them for a second before it re-entered the darkness. He sighed with relief and tightened his grip on her throat as he slid the knife from her chest. Her grip slackened, and he smiled as he watched the life extinguish from her eyes. A young girl walking home from school found a small pile of Polaroid photos lying in the gutter. There were 20 in all, neatly wrapped in a rubber band. She picked them up, and as she walked, she started to browse. The first photo was that of a ghostly white man on a black background, standing just far enough away from the camera that she couldn't make out his features. The girl slid the photo to the back of the stack and looked at the next one. The photo was that of the same man, now standing a bit closer. The girl flipped through the next several photos quickly. With each one, the man in the picture came a bit closer and his features were a bit clearer. Turning the last corner to her house, the girl noticed that the man in the photo seemed to be looking at her, even when she moved the stack from side to side. It frightened her, but she kept flipping them over, one by one. By the 19th picture, the man was so close his face completely filled the frame. His expression was the most horrifying the girl had ever seen. Walking up the driveway, she turned to the last photo. This time, instead of an image, there were two words. Close enough. Hearing a scream, the girl's brother rushed to the door and opened it. All he saw was a pile of photographs lying on the doorstep. The top one looked like an extremely pale version of his sister, but she was standing too far back for him to be sure. That woman over there, in the corner of the room, is really a terrific tease. I don't even think she means to be, but I've simply never encountered anyone like her. She got this breezy, powder blue sundress on, in stylish ankle-strap sandals on her pedicured feet. A girl as pretty as she is would never be interested in a guy like me, though. She's wearing these great panties today, too. I caught a glimpse of the lacy fabric clinging to the inside of her thighs while we were getting her prepared. Her legs had slid apart almost imperceptibly, and I suddenly craned my neck to see as much as I could. Still, I don't think anyone's noticed my unprofessional behavior, or even how obsessed with her I've become. In a different lifetime, maybe this woman and I could even be friends. I'm friendly and very pleasant once people get to know me, and she looks like the kind of girl who values a nice guy with a good attitude. I certainly think I could earn her attention. Oh well, she'll be gone within the next hour or two, out of my life forever, so there's nothing to do except try and forget about her. It'd be easier though if she just didn't look so damn beautiful. Just outside the door, I can hear her family beginning to arrive. They're asking why she's not already out there and ready for things to begin. They really seem to want everything to go perfectly today. It looks like we're running late, I remark. It's the first thing I've had the courage to say aloud in her presence. There's no response, but the soft smile on her lips fills me with pleasure. Muttering a shy goodbye, I disable the brakes on her casket's beer and wheel her from the embalming lab into the reception area.